Welcome to the Cynthia Nyamai Show. I'm so glad that you could join us today. Now, after years of observing successful people, I've noticed that it's not that they're always the most talented or well-read or most educated, but they have willpower and they never stop at anything. They're so determined. We will be talking to a young lady who you well know. I won't tell you who it is. You'll find out very soon. But her story is inspiring. Coming up shortly. Minne Kariuki is an actress and a serial entrepreneur who rose to fame from her role in popular drama series Tabasamu. A decade later, and she continues to dominate our screens on shows like Ma Impress while successfully running a construction company. But how does Minne manage to strike a balance between family, entrepreneurship, and the limelight? Stay tuned. Thank you so much, Minne Kariuki, for joining us today. First, I'm always curious about your name, Minne. What does it mean?
No local meaning. The only meaning I know is in Turkish. Yeah. It means water or river. Mm-hmm. That's what it means.
Refreshing.
Yes,
it's refreshing to
Ooh, nourishing. I like that.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up and what was your childhood like?
I'm a child of God's grace. Mm-hmm. And I'm a wife, a mother. Mm-hmm. I grew up in Islando, basically. The Kariobangi was born and bred there. Mm-hmm. And then my parents were just hustlers. Mm-hmm. My dad was a subcontractor. Then we moved to Buruburu. So I believe through my childhood and my teenagehood, my adulthood, we grew up in Islando. So basically that's it. Yes, that's it for me. And your childhood dreams, did you ever think that people would watch you on the screens and you'd be a celebrity, well-known? Never, never. Well, when I was in high school, I wanted to be a lawyer because I believed in fighting justice for people. Yes. When I was in Form 3, my cousin was raped. Mm-hmm. And I just believe how the court system handled that was so unfair. And I believed in fighting for humanity. So I really wanted to be a lawyer then. So when I finished my Form 4, I didn't do so well in my art. So I ended up doing communications. I believed in myself just after high school because I was very good in drama while in high school and I knew I could act. So I just started going for auditions and just lining up and stuff like that. Yeah. And one audition was at KBC then. I was only 18 years. Mm-hmm. And well, I got the job. And I was a presenter, a show called Unfinished. Yes. It was being sponsored by I think it was World Bank, I can't remember, but we're focusing on youth in agriculture. Then I loved being on screen because I just felt like I looked good, you know, I was killing it. Yes. And so I didn't really think I would do it until I believed in myself and just knew I could do it because I saw myself on the screens. Acting was a passion for me, well, I was talented at it. And my first gig was back when I was, I think, 20 years. Mm-hmm. And I think it just came out naturally for me. So, yes. And then it was just a way of making a living then, because I didn't want to live with my parents. So for me, it was just passion and talent.
Why did you want to move out from your parents?
I was so independent, and I just didn't like someone controlling me. You understand? Yeah. So I just wanted to write my story when I was very young. And I think also, this is what I tell parents, nurture your child's talent when they're very young. In high school, my mom used to really believe in my acting. So even when we got home, she'd be like, show me how you pulled that. Let me see it. So I believed in it. And just because I knew I could make a living out of it, I really wanted to do it. And that's why I wanted to be independent at a very young age, yes.
Yeah. And so after Unfinished KBC, did you quickly after that get another acting role?
Immediately after Unfinished, I think the sponsors pulled out at some point. I went for an extra job on the show Tabasamu at Citizen. And I think I did it so well, they called me for a main act. And so that is when I got to Tabasamu. Did that for about 4 years. Mm-hmm. I graduated because I was going to school, doing my degree, and also acting at the same time. At 23, Citizen cut off Tabasamu. And I remember being called in a room and we were like, guys, Tabasamu is over. Honestly, that's why I just never want to be employed. That feeling of, you know, just like a bombshell dropping. Yeah. Yes, it was so uncertain. And I was like, where am I going after this? what am I doing? I was so lost. I remember crying in my bedroom. I was depressed for a whole 3 months. And I'm one person who's never believed in employment because my parents were not employed. So there was no success story of employment where I'm from. So I really wanted to do business. And I knew I wanted to do business in construction. That is something I was so passionate about. I don't know why, I don't know how.
I've seen the photos. You being looking like almost a Mjengo person. But before we get there, I just want to ask you, because we've seen stories of celebrities getting depressed, and then later on we find out behind the scenes they were going through so much. How is it like being well known because Tabasamu was a success? Everyone knows you, and then suddenly you don't have a job. There's a lifestyle to keep up with, and sometimes going off screen and not living that celebrity life is not easy. How was that for you?
Hard. Plain truth, simple, hard.
So you wake up one morning, you're used to standing in front of the screen. One morning, you're still in bed. You have
still
nowhere
in bed.
to go to.
Nothing, no connections, no one who can pull you through. There was no influencing jobs then. Nothing. Like, it was like all darkness. This is what I say. Acting, being an artist, acting, being a musician, this is my opinion. This is not something that will really make ends meet. And this is not something that will really break your career. This is just a side hustle. Building your brand is now getting the cash itself, getting a breakthrough in whatever it is you're doing. What you get as an actress against what I get is relevant. Like, what I get could be everything for me. And what you get could be something like peanuts for you, okay? So it depends on what you want and where you want to place yourself and the dreams you have. And the dreams I had then, no, the zeros are not working.
Massive.
They're not matching.
So what you're getting couldn't get you to that place.
No.
I'll get to that. The Mjengo story, that one I have to talk about it. But over the years, now you've had so much experience in the acting industry. Have you seen improvement? Are people being paid much better? And even as the standards, are they improving?
What I think is improving is the stories we're telling. I think we're telling real life stories. And because of that, then even people outside there, investors, would believe in your story, and then they come and invest in our stories. So I believe the stories we're telling are improving. Production is improving. Of course, guys are focusing on doing better. So yes, we are improving in the Kenyan industry.
I think for me, Empress is one of the... I really enjoyed watching you because it was a group of girlfriends and I could relate to all of them. Especially Kate. I have a friend who's like Kate and couldn't tell what the husband is up to. But I could relate to each and every person. So I really loved that.
Thank you. Thank you. Me, I was acting as a Crystal on My Impress. And Crystal is
on
just
social media.
She was a slay queen. You know, the modern day woman who we call slay queens want to, we're so desperate to be called independent while your, I don't know, your money, your monetary value is coming from Amubaba's wallet. So you're calling yourself boss lady, you're calling yourself independent, but we know where it's coming from. So Crystal was just trying to show people that, you know, the negative impacts of social media on us women. You know, we are trying to change our values and morals so that we can look a certain way. And I think it's just so wrong because you cannot cheat the hustle. You cannot cheat. You have to go through the process to get there. You cannot just scale up there through Amubaba's wallet. It will not work.
You're nothing close to Crystal.
Never.
You know, just knowing your story and especially the construction story that we're going to talk about after the break. That's a story you do not want to miss. See you shortly. Welcome back. We were speaking to Minne Kariuki, telling us about her life, ups and downs, living the celebrity life, and now we're about to find out something a little bit interesting. I saw it in a photo. Mjengo.
That photo.
I was like, okay, was she acting?
Is that her?
Then I read about it and I was like, no, this is real life. Tell me how you got into construction. This was after Tabasamu or?
Immediately after.
Yes.
Okay. So I told you after Tabasamu, we were just cut off immediately and I didn't know what to do next. I just graduated from University of Nairobi. I was doing Bachelor of Arts, major in communication, and I just didn't want to get employed, you know. I just enjoyed my freedom so much. And just my fascination of construction, and I was so fascinated of seeing buildings coming up, the structural engineering of it all. And I knew of an Indian who had a quarry, a ballast quarry in Mlolongo, and his office was at Westlands. I just knew of him. So I built up my confidence. I went to his office, and he was called Praveen. And I introduced myself. I was such a young girl in his eyes, but to me, I was just all I had. And he was like, "What? Why are you not in school?" I was like, "I finished my degree. You're so young. You're only 23." I was like, "Yes." And he told me, "Okay, so you know, to buy a heap of ballast at that price, you need XX amount. Do you have it?" And I was like, "Yes." And he couldn't believe it. I just went into my bag and removed the cash. And he's like, "Where did you get this from?" I told him, "Out of my savings."
Wow.
And he was like, "Okay, and how are you going to market your business?" I told him, "I will learn through the job. I will learn." And he told me, "Do you know how dusty that road is? Do you know how bad that road is?" I told him, the lorries go through there. I'm also human. I'll just go through there. And to get into being an agent of his quarry was so hard. But he told me he saw the confidence, he saw the resilience in me, and he just saw how he told me, "I see you like my daughter. And if this is what will take you to the next level, and this is what you want, then fine." And I was shook. I went home and I cried, and I remember praying and telling God, "God, please just make this happen. This seed that I'm planting, I want it to be fruitful in the next 5 years."
You had a 5-year plan.
Yes, it was a 5-year plan. Because also, what happens in the quarries, after 5 years, then they start producing the best ballast. Then they have to go somewhere else also.
Looks like you had done your homework.
I had done my research and I knew where his office was. And there's a time I used to park on the side of his office and know he comes to work at 5. He leaves at 7. He goes for lunch. So I knew, like I used to stalk this Indian because I was told that's the only way. He has the best ballast in Lolongo. And this guy is strict. You don't see him. You know Kenyans and their stories. He's like a genie. You never get to know him. So I was like, please.
And it's more of a man's business.
Yes, it is. You know, this is what I say. The misconception of gender-specific roles are just slowly diminishing society. If your child wants to wake up and be an engineer, she can. If a girl child wants to wake up and wants to do something structural, yes, they can. It is very much possible. So yes, and Praveen told me, "Okay, fine, I've given you the wings. Go do your thing."
The discount
and everything. So girl, first of all, it takes you 8 kilometers from Athi River to the quarry.
Yes.
And the craters and the valleys to get there. I had a small Vitz at Dudu. I used to change my shocks every 1 month. Oh God. And there were no offices. It wasn't pretty and fancy. My office was an exercise book, a biro, and under a tree. I knew nothing like of wearing sunscreen. It was just me and my ngomas, my jeans. You had to look rugged because you had to look like what you're... no fancy. No lipstick, no high heels.
So all these things that, you know, even when you're starting your TV career that you had enjoyed, makeup and you put them aside.
No hair, no wig. It was just me and my kitamba and my ngomas. And, you know, this is what I say. Transitioning from being on screen to doing the dirty, I'll call it dirty work or juakali work, is hard. But it's the faith and the belief that I had to do this and just believing in myself. And
that you'd be successful in anything.
You will. Yeah. You will definitely be successful. Yeah. So I never had clients. Like I got there the first day and I was just looking at people, like girls are looking at me like, "Who is this?"
I'm sure they're wondering, who is she? Who does she even think she is? She thinks this is a business.
And then they go to the office and they ask, "Huyu msichana, kwani amenunua ballast natoshana?" Then they're told the time, they'll be like, "Oh, huyu msichana amenunua? Hey, huyu sio mtoto wa nani?" No, we don't even know her. She's fresh. Yeah. And what happened, I remember going to Mlolongo and finding drivers and just going and marketing my job through word of mouth. All the drivers, nitakupatia discount here. Yeah, 20 bob. Yeah, 50 bob. I'm telling you, Cynthia, in 3 months, all the trucks used to come to Aristo. If anyone has done ballast and they've been in that side, they know Aristocrat Quarry. They used to come to Shiko. They used to call me Shiko wa Mawe, Shiko wa Ballast, because they just didn't understand, you know. And this is what I say: if you're going through a business and you don't know how to start, this is the story I was trying to tell young girls in business. Go by grace, grow by faith, and God will take you through. God will surely take you through. So I marketed my business, and after 3 months, I had trusted clients. Also, another thing is you have to have work ethic. Your work ethic has to be 100%. In construction, we have something we call koroga, and koroga should start very early, right? Because it needs to kauka also. And and you need a lot of ballast for that. So I used to wake up at 3 a.m., get there. I used to have like 10 lorries, yes, waiting for me. And say, "Iyo ni yangu," because there were a lot of agents, but they would all wait for me. They wouldn't go and get someone else's ballast. It was mine they were waiting for.
3 a.m. you're driving, going to Mulolongo. What's waking you up that early? Where are you getting that motivation to wake up?
I'm chasing my dreams. If it means waking up at 3 a.m. chase my dreams, I will wake up at 3 a.m. chase my dreams.
What are some of the lessons that you learned when you transitioned from acting to now your business?
You have to be self-motivated. You see, if you're an actress, you have a call sheet. So you have to be, you're regulated in a way, you're controlled in a way. You have talent has to be on set by 6:30, do your makeup, do your this, have your lines. In business, you have to be self-motivated. You have to wake up at 3. If you don't wake up at 3, you'll not make no sales. In acting, whether you come to set at 9, at 10, at 2, it's about the production house making their sales. As talent, it doesn't bother you. But if you're a business person, it takes you to wake up at 3 to make your sales. If you don't, then you don't make no sales. Yes.
And where is your business now?
Okay, I have an office at Corner House, 7th floor. That is where I'm located. But basically, I'm never in the office. Office is just to do my paperwork and documentation. I'm usually in different sites, you know. I have a site in Athi River. I have a site in Kilimani, Lavington. So I'm usually on site, always. Yes.
How many years is your business? Because sustaining a business is also not easy.
8 good years.
Wow.
8 years. And this is what I say. You know, this is what I learned. Like, if probably a bank and another bank is merging, they have to consult someone. There's so much consultation. Is there the risk involved in this? If you're an entrepreneur, you don't involve anyone, don't consult anyone. If there's any risks, you just go ahead. Like, you learn through the job. Then you have to have discipline with that. You have to have discipline with that. No, this is my profit. Am I plowing it back? Am I sharing dividends at the end of the year? Such things like that. Yeah.
We're seeing a trend, especially on social media, young girls having other sources of income by either hooking up with much older men, putting up photos of themselves, trying to attract, and we see them going on holidays. You can tell they don't really have a job. It's another type of job altogether.
Yes.
Why didn't you take that route? You are famous, you're very beautiful, very attractive. Why take the harder route of waking up at 3 in the morning?
Cynthia, like I said, you can't cheat the process. Don't think that you will skip this stage of life so that you can get here. Trust me, you'll have to go through this. God will take you back here so that you can learn your lessons. For me, it was just, again, I wasn't raised like that. I wasn't raised being dependable. I've never been a parasite. I left my mom's house at 18 years. I believe in working hard for my own. And I believe in making mistakes along the way, because that's when you sharpen your skills. Like we earlier on talking. You know, through making your mistakes, you learn. You learn better. They sharpen your skills. You sharpen your focus. You know where to focus. So for me, I've never wanted to have it easy, ever. Let me work and let me earn it. Because once you earn what you've worked for, come on, man, it's sweet. It's very sweet.
That's
you know,
true, yeah.
The fruits are much sweeter.
Yeah, and as you're sharpening your skills, you're discovering things about yourself.
True.
And you go beyond boundaries that you didn't even know about yourself, of things you can do.
Definitely.
But you still didn't stop acting completely.
No, I didn't.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Like we said, you need to have a bit of like multiple streams of income. Yeah. I do a bit of gigs, but I only book gigs at the end of every financial year, because through a financial year, of course I'm busy and engaged. So I have a show coming up. It's called Singlish. I don't know why I get to only play this role. I think I do it so well.
Which is the opposite of
I know of me, right? So
still a slay queen.
Still a slay queen. Same story.
Yes.
So the character is called Mariah. Mariah is a slay queen. She believes in social media. She has a mubaba, and that's the only way she makes ends meet. But let me tell you, Cynthia, it's important to tell this story.
That's true. The realities of our society.
It is the reality. These women out here, they're not boss ladies. Let's just be honest. Show me your stories. Like you said, you looked at my pictures and you're like, gosh, is this Minne? You understand? Yeah, because I had to go through that, right? So you want to look fabulous. You want the glitz and the glam all the time, and it's coming from a baba's wallet. That will not last you long. That's cheating the process. That's true. Yeah. So Mariah, like I said, the show is called Singlish. My role is Mariah. I cannot wait.
Let me get a little bit personal, because I saw some photos of you dancing away.
Where? Come on. Okay.
But you've been married for a while. What was that occasion about?
Okay, so I've been married for 7 years to my best friend, the love of my life, Charles. So we have to go through, you know, this is what I say, you need to get blessings from your parents. And the only way to get these blessings, just do the normal traditional. You have to go through them. And we needed to do a dowry payment. So that was just that. Because we had done the introduction, now he needed to pay the dowry. So that was our show you saw.
Thank you so much, Minne, for joining us. I love your truth. I've learned so much from you and just listening to your story and the true realities of life. Thank you so much for joining us today. And if there's one thing I've learned today, there's so much we can learn actually, but chase your dream. Whatever it takes, chase your dream. See you next week.